Hello everyone, today we're going to plant a few peas. The variety we're going to do is Duke Provence. It's an early variety. So with any peas or beans, there is a little trick you could do. So to soak them overnight or for around 6 hours. So I've just soaked these for around 6 or 7 hours. Use cool boiled water from the kettle because you're lessening the potential contaminants. After a while, you'll find some of them will actually sprout if you leave them a day or so longer. So you can see this one has a small little sprout on it. We're going to do them two ways. So I'm going to do some in the pot here, so it's a woven pot. I'm going to do, and there's a bamboo holder here, so I'm going to do 7 peas to correspond with the bamboos going up, so they're going to grow up the bamboo. If you're companion planting them, they work very well in the same bed as the bean, so the broad bean as well, and also mint. So mint makes a good companion plant for it. So in this case, in the pot here, I've put some mint root cuttings in with it in the middle. So as they grow up, they'll grow up together and they make a nice accompaniment as a meal. So as spare ones, I'm going to put them in this 24 pod tray. So they go an inch down. So an inch, if you're not sure, is always up to your first knuckle. So we're going to make some holes for them. So by soaking them overnight, you're speeding up the germination time by about 3 to 4 days. You can do a similar thing with broad beans, and both of these can be planted at this time. So there's early peas, which we're planting now. There's also main crop peas. And to be successful with the peas, you have to plant them every couple of months to keep a steady supply going until all year round. Peas, when they grow, will need support, so you're better off to either grow them up bamboos like that. You can also grow them up elder branches, or you can make supports and use a netting and let them grow up that. If you have an existing trellis fence, you can use this. Peas and beans are both nitrogen fixers, so they will absorb nitrogen and store it in nodules in their roots. So at the end of the season, you should cut your peas at ground level, leaving the roots and therefore the nitrogen nodules in for the following year. So in a crop rotation system, you should always follow the pea and beans with cabbage family. The cabbage family are very hungry feeders and need the nitrogen which the peas and beans put into the soil. So it's important to remember to always cut them at ground level, leaving the nitrogen nodules in. So if you examine the roots of broad bean, you'll find a lot of these small off-white to yellow little nodules, and they're the nitrogen nodules. So as I said, cabbage will always be very hungry for that amount of nitrogen. I'm going to put 1 pea in each hole, and they will take roughly 5 to 7 days to come up. As I said, by soaking them overnight, you're speeding up the process considerably. When they reach the height of about 4 inches or have about 3 to 4 true leaves, they can be moved out of the pods here. So they'll eventually run out of nutrients within the pods and they'll be needed to move to their final location. So if you have a tunnel, they can be planted straight into a bed. If you're going to plant them out, they need to be hardened off, so they need to be left in the cold frame for up to a week. If you don't have a cold frame, you can bring them out and in for a week, and then they should have hardened off sufficiently. So it's just getting them used to the cold outside. So as I said before, in this one we've planted peas all around, so I've put 7 pea all around to correspond with the bamboo canes that are going to go in, and a sprig of mint root cutting in the middle, so they will grow up together. if you want to save your seeds into the following year, just let 4 or 5 of the pea pods dry out in their pods. Collect these, they look like shriveled up peas, and they can be planted the following year. They'll store very well in an envelope for up to a year. Peas, when you'll know when they're ready, you can eat them raw or cooked. And the more you pick them, the more peas you'll get growing. So you can use your first crop of peas, once they're fully grown, as a succession sowing for your next crop as well. Okay, thank you very much.